In this multi-muscle workout, you'll cut your workout time in half by working several muscles at the same time with intervals of core work. We'll begin in a nice wide stance, arms up at 90 degrees, and we'll begin with our squat overhead press. 12 repetitions in our first set. Make sure most of the weight's through the heels, light on your toes, core and glutes always engaged, and as you press those weights up to the ceiling, shoulders away from those ears. Exhale up, inhale down through the squat, keeping that breathing steady. Excellent. All right, we'll drop the weights, heading down to the floor for our first core set, supporting yourself back, head rested in your hands, and we'll go to our basic crunch. 20 repetitions here. Keep constant tension on those abs. So as you're working the core muscles here in the basic crunch, think of drawing the belly button to the spine, contracting those abs, shifting the rib cage towards the hips. Visualize the entire length of those abdominals. Keep resting that head in your hands, keeping as much tension off the neck as possible. Go ahead and reach forward, extra squeeze, nice and tight. Excellent. Grab those knees, rock and roll all the way up to our feet once again. We'll go right back into that wide stance, arms up at 90 degrees, squat overhead press. Going for 12 repetitions once again. You're in charge of the weight you choose. You can go light, you can go heavy. Just make sure that you are feeling that work, you're feeling the fatigue, certainly by the last few repetitions of each set. Remember your breathing, exhale up, and dropping those weights back down again. Heading back down onto the floor, this time laying on your back. Head can start on the mat, and we'll pull the knees to the chest. Shoulders pressing back. Reverse crunch and extension. This time we're gonna go to 15 repetitions. You can keep your head and shoulders back like this, or contract those abs to lift your head and shoulders up off the ground. Totally up to you. I like to do this variation because I feel like I can keep the lower back nice and steady on the floor with my shoulders up. Full extension, really reach those legs so you get those quads working as well. Hold for a moment, nice and strong. Grab behind those knees and we rock and roll back up to our feet for our last set of squat overhead press. So again, inhale down, exhale as you press the weights over your head, keeping lots of space between your ears and shoulders. It's easy as we lift the weights over the head to sometimes lift the shoulder blades and lift the traps up to our ears as well. You want to keep them pressing down in proper alignment. Very last rep right here, and we can bring those weights all the way down. Feel free to take a moment, catch your breath, let that heart rate come down just a little bit before we begin our next set, which is the plank row. So we'll grab those dumbbells, take your feet nice and wide, row right, left, hands back onto the floor, and push up. Next time, begin with the opposite side, left, right, hands back onto the floor, and push up, keeping the core muscles strong. We're certainly focusing on the upper back here, and then the chest muscles, but the entire body is working as you keep it engaged. Nice long line through your plank and push up. So we're gonna do a total of 12 repetitions this whole set. Feel free to drop down onto the knees. I'll show you that here in a moment. It's just adding one extra step through the movement. Take your time. This is probably the most challenging multi-muscle movement that we're gonna do in this routine. So prepare your mind for that. Take one step at a time, exhaling through the movement, thinking about the muscles that you are working. Drop into the knees, push up, and then if you choose to do it this way, you'll come up, take those feet back wide again before you go into the row. Remember, you're gonna keep those hips as stable, as straight across as possible. Knees up, feet wide. We row, alternating the row sides. Focusing on your breathing, nice long spine. A lot of muscle endurance here, working so many muscles at the same time. Allow that heart rate to go up. You are strengthening your heart, strengthening your mind, strengthening your body. Last rep right here, keep it strong, and then you can rest onto those knees, sit back into your child's pose, and breathe. Next, we'll head back to our mat, laying on our back, draw the knees to the chest, legs up to the ceiling, focusing on the internal obliques. 20 repetitions, reaching ankle to ankle. Remember to exhale as you reach up, pressing that belly button down as again you're reaching up. So your goal is to keep those shoulder blades completely off the ground the entire time. Reaching as high as you can. Keep all the tension in the abs and out of the neck as much as possible. Rock and roll all the way up and onto our second set. All right, you can do this one step at a time. Feel free to pause the video if you need a little extra time to rest. Once again, we have our row and push-up, alternating your row side. Take your time, get that nice hand placement into your strong push-up. So it's not about speed. That heart rate will go up just because you're working so many muscles at the same time. Try to keep that breathing steady with every part of the movement. Remember that oxygen gives us energy. It's natural to want to hold your breath when you're doing something challenging, but we really need to do the opposite. Getting as much oxygen into our muscles, to our brain as possible. If you are getting to the point where your form is beginning to fail, that's a sign that you need to take a break. It's important not to focus just on the number of repetitions, but how are you doing those repetitions? That's what's going to get you stronger without any injury. Hang in there, a few more repetitions. Strong back, strong core, working all of the chest muscles, working through the legs. Embrace the challenge here. Remember, challenge equals change. Awesome. Back to the knees. Take that nice deep breath. Recover. All right, back up to our feet, heading to our next core set onto our mat. This time, very similar to a basic crunch, except our legs are going to be extended out just a little bit. Belly to spine, head rested in our hands, crunch nice and high. So as you're going through these repetitions, let's do 15 to 20 repetitions, totally up to you. Make sure you're working. I want you to think about the entire length of your abdominals, so the very top to the very bottom, that whole nice long line through your six pack. It's there. Reaching those arms forward if you prefer. See what you like best. Looking for that burn, hold, and rock and roll all the way up onto your feet. Okay, you got this. One last set, 12 full repetitions of our row push-up. You can do this. You should be tired by now. That is our goal. Feel free to do more, feel free to do less. Just keep that perfect form. One rep at a time, you'll get there. Exhale as you row each arm. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale through the push-up. So think about coordinating the breathing with your movements. Focus on one rep at a time. Before you know it, you'll be done. Nice strong hand placement, strong abs as you go through that push-up. Hips are stable. Breathing full, deep breaths. Oxygen equals energy. So clearly that last round in each of these sets is going to be the most challenging. So give extra care, extra attention to your form. Feel free to go to those knees if you need to. As long as you are being challenged, whether you're on your knees or off your knees, that is what's going to make you stronger. Hang in there, you're doing great. Again, this is the toughest round, I would say. We're almost done. Feeling every rep here. Awesome. Back onto the knees and rest. Excellent work. In a moment, we're going to head back up to our feet with our dumbbells into our next multi-muscle movement. It's going to be a reverse lunge bicep curl, 12 reps total. So a lot going on here. You'll see that I'm adding a little rotation with the upper body. That means belly button's pulling in, and as you twist, you're going to feel those internal obliques working as you go into that bicep curl. If this is too much, just stick with the basic bicep curl, keeping your body to the front as you lunge back. Awesome. All right, we're going to head back onto our mat for our next core work. We're going to go into our modified plank on the forearms. Let's keep the fists in line with the elbows. Lift out of the shoulders and up we go. So let's work for about 30 seconds here. We'll go into the plank and actually all of our core exercises later on. So focus on engaging the entire length of your body. So through your legs, your glutes, of course, all the muscles through the abdominals, pressing the floor away. You should feel the pressure through the entire forearm and also lifting your face away from the floor. Nice long spine. You are breathing. Never ever hold your breath when you're doing any exercise, but especially these planks. All right, let's head up back to our feet. Second set of reverse lunge bicep curls, 12 reps. So again, with all of these exercises, you can keep the same weight. You can switch up the weight depending on which upper body muscle you're working. You may want to go heavier for shoulders or heavier for biceps, maybe lighter for triceps. Do what works for you and challenges you. Excellent. Back onto our mat. Next core exercise, extending those arms and legs out, hovering above the floor, and just breathe. Probably the simplest and easiest, but you want to think about that form. So long neck, eyes are down, shoulders away from your ears, deep belly breathing. So feel the belly expanding into the mat as you're holding, working that whole back line of the body. All right, rest it down, hands beside the chest, and press yourself back onto your feet. Very last set for reverse lunge bicep curl. Here's a different view for you. You want to make sure that you're stepping that foot back far. You want to keep a 90-degree angle with the front leg. And as you step your back leg into the lunge, keep that knee slightly behind your hip bone. Hips are as stable as possible. Rotation with the upper body if you'd like. Exhale through the movement. Inhale as you step forward. Last repetition right here. Great, go ahead and throw those weights down. Take a moment, catch your breath. Little stretch if you'd like to, whatever you need. And we'll get ready to go into our last round. Focusing on the triceps and all of the stability muscles in that standing leg and even the glute. We're gonna draw those elbows nice and high, kick back. So we'll do 12 repetitions balancing on this leg. Your goal is to keep a nice long line from head to toe or head to heel. Upper arm nice and stable as you work those triceps. Now as you finish the last set, lead with the chest as you come up and go ahead and find your balance right on the other side. Into your T-pose, elbows high, and again, 12 repetitions. Upper arm, very stable. Whole body as stable as possible, working every muscle you can, and thinking about the alignment through the spine. Exhaling back, inhale forward with lots of control, no swinging, and lifting the chest up. All right, heading down to the floor. This time, we're going to do every exercise we did for the core, all in one set. Beginning with our basic crunch, we'll go for 20 reps. Exhaling up, inhaling back. About 10 more repetitions here. Visualize the whole length of your abdominals working together. Nice. Excellent work. All right, knees back into the chest, reverse crunch extension. Let's go to 15 reps here. Really reach those legs away from you. 10, 9, reach, 8, reach, 7, 6, 5, shoulders back, 4, 3, 2, last one. Excellent. Toes to the ceiling, obliques, 20 reps here, back and forth, small movement, going from one set to the next, looking for that burn, working different parts of the core. Hang in there, a few more. Reaching nice and high. Excellent. Knees to the chest. Now we'll extend the legs out a bit further away from us. Head rested, curl up high and crunch. Again, let's keep those movements small and tight. Thinking about the entire length of your abdominals. Let's do 15 to 20 reps, whatever you got in you. Let's do it. Reaching those arms forward. Try to give me at least 5 more. Hold it if you can, nice and tight. And stretch across the room, nice deep breath. We'll draw that knee and rock and roll up, and let's flip onto our stomach, preparing to go into our plank. So let's go for about 25 to 30 seconds. Once again, lifting out of the shoulders, strong core. The entire length of your body is working here. Use it all. So if someone were to come up to you and gently try to push you over, you wouldn't even budge. Every muscle is engaged. Keeping that breathing nice and deep. Full inhales, longer exhales, drawing those abs even tighter with every exhale, away from the mat. Even weight through the forearms and resting, lifting the chest up, little stretch here. And go ahead and reach those arms and legs all the way out. Eyes are down and hover. Breathing again, about 10-15 seconds here. Reaching long. So inhaling it, feeling that belly expand as you exhale. Think about reaching the toes and the fingers away from each other. Hands beside your chest. And reach back into your child's pose. Rest for a moment. Maybe head up to your hands and knees. Give me a cat and cow stretch. Keep the back feeling good. All right, heading onto our feet once again. Second set for our T-pose tricep kickback. 12 reps, holding that balance. Just as a reminder, the key to balance is keeping your eyes on one focal point, engaging your core, and steady breathing. Nice long line from head to heel, upper arm stable, and leading with the chest. Go ahead and switch sides, find your balance, then go into that T-pose. Elbows high and kick back, 12 reps. Each set should get a little more challenging. Hang in there, last couple reps. Excellent, leading with the chest. Okay, one more time onto our mat. We're gonna go through all of those exercises once again. Starting with our basic crunch. Head rested in your hands, 20 reps. Keeping that neck nice and long. Try not to break the neck, chin off the chest. Embracing the challenge here. Nice. Head and shoulders can rest back. Reverse crunch extension. So working those deep transverse abdominals and then even toning those quads as you extend the legs. Lots of muscles working together in this workout. Keeping the reps about 15. Do less if you need to. If that form starts to fail, it's better to rest. Do more if you'd like. Toes to the ceiling, 20 repetitions here for those obliques. Keeping the shoulder blades off the mat if you can, or at least working towards that. That's the goal. Constant tension on those abs. If this is too much for those hamstrings, feel free to keep the knees bent. Just reach to the ceiling and rest. Extending those legs out. Head rested in your hands. 20 reps here. You can keep the hands here or reach them forward again. Belly pressing down, nice long neck. On that last rep, hold it if you can. If you have it in you, squeeze and stretch it out. Reach across the room. And we'll grab a knee, rock and roll up. Flipping onto our stomach, preparing for our plank. Last plank of the day. Lifting out of the shoulders, strong abs, lift those knees. You can do the modification, that's always an option, staying on the knees. Just want to keep that nice long spine all the way through the neck, eyes down. Engaging every muscle from head to toe, strong. Now, because we've already completed 4 sets of those tricep kickbacks, the good news is this is the very end of your workout. Go ahead and rest down, lift the chest. Our very last set of the day is the easiest. Focus on your breathing, allow it to slow down as you hold and hover those arms and legs. Remember, eyes down, shoulders away from your ears, and just breathe. Think of stretching and strengthening that whole length of your body. And rest it down. Slide your hands beside the chest, nice and strong, pressing back onto the hands and knees. Cat and cow stretch one last time. You did an amazing job today, completing this entire workout, working more muscles than you know. As always, thank you so much for joining me. See you next time.